What's up guys, ShinyHunterDestroyer here and welcome back to a brand new Pokemon Journeys anime discussion video. Today I'll be talking about episode 71, which is titled Let's Go Project Mew. In today's episode, we get another much more larger peek into what Project Mew will be for Go, who is aiming to participate and become a part of the Project Mew team. This peek consists of throwing a block of ice at us out of nowhere. This episode starts off with Go finally getting an email about Project Mew, which instructs Go to meet them at their lab at the base of Mount Coronet in the Sinnoh region. Go heads that way with, of course, Ash following along as support. Upon arriving at the lab, they meet up with Gary once again, who also once again gets into the head of Go, calling Go an inept trainer and saying that Project Mew won't be exactly an easy thing to go through. But after that, it's time to get to some character introductions. Meet Hodaka, the leader of the Project Mew team. Hodaka has done lots of extensive research on Pokemon and Mew with many books to go through. After the boys meet Hodaka though, they meet Asahi, who explains everything about Project Mew that they needed to know. However, she made sure to stay strict to what she says, not answering questions about Mew that Go had. She also talked about trial missions, which is what we saw Gary earn before when getting the Moltres Feather. Trainers a part of Project Mew are called Chasers, and they're trying to find the best trainers to fit that role. Therefore, 5 trainers with the highest amount of tokens will be on the Project Mew team. So, after that explanation, it's time to get to work, with Ash and Go being dropped off at a spot on Mount Coronet. Go is tasked to capture an Alolan Ninetales in the area. Though Alolan Ninetales weren't normally here, this was the task they were assigned. After searching for a bit, they were able to find an Alolan Ninetales in the area. However, this Ninetales wasn't in its usual calm self that the Pokedex said it would be. Ninetales was angry, sending Ice Beam after the boys, easily defeating Go's Scizor. Ash and Go, while trying to figure out a way to get to Ninetales, got caught in a blizzard instead on the mountain and get completely engulfed. The boys wake up in a cave, and they seem to have passed out during the blizzard. Here, they meet Sidigi, another person a part of the Project Mew team. 2 of the 5 trainers have already been assigned to the Project Mew team. One of them was Asahi, and the other one is Sidigi. After having to save Ash and Go, Sidigi says they should head home after the blizzard, as he says Go is disqualified from participating in Project Mew. This didn't stop Go's questions though, as he asked about why an Alolan Ninetales was at Mount Coronet. When he heard that it was because of Pokemon hunters, he seemed to have taken that personally, since when the blizzard finally stopped, Go decided that instead of leaving, he would instead get Ninetales this time. Demonstrating his skills, Go points out an area where Ninetales could be, and of course, Ninetales was there, still having a mean, angry look on its face. A battle ensues with Cinderace and Ninetales. Sidigi watches from afar, seeing how Go would handle the situation. Go is able to hit Ninetales with a Pyro Ball from Cinderace and tries to throw a Pokeball, but an Ice Beam stops the Pokeball in its track. Turn and you see the block of ice, Regice, appearing from out of the ice. While Ash takes care of Regice, Go goes and tries to calm down Ninetales by getting closer, telling Ninetales that Go will take it home, back to Alola where it belongs. After pushing his way through Aurora Veil, Ninetales' mean look on its face vanished and agrees to be caught by Go. After catching Ninetales, obviously, Go would be relieved. Regice is still here, but Sidigi takes care of that with his own Pokemon, Urshifu, who gives Regice one solid punch. After this, they leave Regice to be while it was weakened and head back to the lab to turn in Ninetales. Go successfully completes this mission. However, it is revealed that this wasn't an official mission that they completed, but instead a test to decide whether or not Project Mew was a fit for Go. Comments on Regice arise, and they even talk about more how Regice is connected to how Pokemon came to be, further developing that goal of finding Mew. But after this mission, Go is instated as an official Project Mew challenger, and the episode comes to an end. Oh boy, it's Project Mew hours now, isn't it? This episode gave us a better look at Project Mew, and man, was it much needed. I think the episode did a great job in displaying not only more about Project Mew, but introduced, well, the new characters that we'll be seeing during this arc. When introducing a new arc, I like to have many questions because those can lead to theories, and I can say right now that I have a few thoughts about Project Mew that can probably go further. After the 2 episodes that we have Project Mew introduced, we know the core part of it, to research and find Mew. That's exciting. What makes this better is the mystery behind more of what's behind Project Mew. You can theorize so much behind that. Why are they only allowed to say so little? What's behind all that secrecy? It could be nothing, or it could be how they are funded. I mean, I love making jokes about how each of these research places make their money or who funds them, I don't know, but there could be some alternate motive they have to Project Mew, or at least Hodaka? Hodaka is one of the new characters introduced in today's episode, and I love his attitude. It's not at all what I expected from the Project Mew leader, but hey, when it looks like you've been reading books about Mew for years, you have to at least look like you're happy. I love his enthusiasm about wanting to look at the data about Regice especially. This is because he invited the boys along and it just felt really nice. Tsurugi and Asahi weren't as open as Hodaka, and I think that's a good thing. That brings me to the next one on the strict scale, Asahi. Her personality being strict, but still deeply caring on the inside really shines for me. It's a good in-between from Tsurugi and Hodaka, and it helped give a large sense of accomplishment after Go returned with 9 tails in one piece. That sense of accomplishment is important to me because it helps give me more of a connection to what's happening, as I want to be invested in such a large arc. Her reluctance to say much during that little orientation presentation thing with Ash and Go once again really brings up questions to me about the legitimacy behind Project Mew, but more importantly to her character. It still shows that even though she has overall a nicer attitude than Tsurugi, she still takes what she's doing now, being a chaser in Project Mew, very seriously, as someone serious like Tsurugi would. But by God, at least she didn't get disqualified. Tsurugi, or how I like to call him, Disqualification Man, but he looks cool, so he gets a pass. Okay, for real, I completely love his traits as well, as I think it just contrasts well with everyone else, and all of them contrast well. He did pop up with some interesting things, such as being the top chaser in Project Mew and Urshifu. I need an explanation with Urshifu, please. I need at least a story or something with Urshifu, because that's my Isle of Armor material right there. Just, I hope something pops up with that. With Project Mew, anything is possible, so I think going to the Isle of Armor isn't out of the question. I don't have many theories on Urshifu, but I really hope we get something out of that. The other thing with Tsurugi is I really love how serious he is. Just like Asahi, he makes it more feel like a serious business, and him being the top chaser puts power into his voice. It helped Go in a way, and at the end of it, it really looked like Go really wanted recognition from Tsurugi after being told he was disqualified. And that brings me to Go this episode, which to me, it's a mixed bag, honestly. As much as I want to say I loved every part of this episode, there is one part of this episode that kind of irked me the wrong way. Don't get me wrong, it's really minor maybe, and like I don't even know if I should complain about it. But first off, I really liked how they introduced Go here into Project Mew, especially with Gary popping up again. It shows that even though his focus for his life is Mew, he doesn't want to be beat by his peers in his own game, or at least being talked down to, as Gary has been doing to Go. Being talked down to obviously hit as well when Tsurugi was talking to Ash and Go about being weaklings, though it wasn't as pronounced, because while they did get hit by that blizzard pretty hard, Tsurugi had more of a point than Gary did. But what I didn't like here was Go's display of Pokemon experience. I loved the way he found Ninetales the second time, connecting it to more terrain and facts and less where in the world are you approach. I think what really triggered this is Tsurugi being around one, but after hearing that story about the Pokemon hunters, Go got more and more motivated to bring Ninetales back to its home, and I really appreciated that. And wanting to bring the Pokemon back to their homes, that paints a really nice picture for the Project Mew team. Though you can have all the bad guy thoughts you want from them, they're bringing a Ninetales back to its home in Alola. That's some good guy stuff right there. But how did Go not know the type advantage against Ninetales? Like, I know he doesn't battle, but Go is still supposed to be the analytical one. How is that not something he knows? To me, that was just really weird. It paints the picture that Go is super inexperienced, and that's just not the case. He knows more than that, so it's crazy to me that he didn't know the type advantage. And I mean, as much as you can say he just wanted confirmation from someone about that type advantage nonsense, I don't know. I just thought type advantages like that would be trivial by now. But that's a minor thing in the end. I'm willing to look past that. I don't think it's too bad. I mean, I would also comment on Ninetales calming down so easily, but I'm just gonna sit back on that one too. I wish I had more to say about Project Mew, but I don't really have much on it besides that. There are so many questions that can be asked about the whole Project Mew Corporation, like where's it heading, and is there a bigger motive? There's also things to look at like Regice. Will we get to see more research on legendaries? Honestly, though, I'm really excited for Project Mew. The formula, I think, has a really good chance to being something great. The missions we've seen so far has been needing both some analytical research sorts of stuffs on Pokemon, but also experience with Pokemon physically, and I think the balance between that is perfect right now. In the end, I really love character interactions, and this episode shows that character interactions in Project Mew are still going to be prominent too. Asahi and Tsurugi, and maybe even Hodaka. I can't wait to hear more from them. Anyway, overall, this episode did a lot. Though I did have a complaint in the middle of all of that, I think this episode was a good way to go into the swing of things. The bar for missions didn't really need to be set in this episode because it was kind of set when Gary was doing the Moltres mission. But instead, the bar that was set this episode was really Go's own bar. He still showed experience, but he also showed things he needs to improve upon to become a top chaser in Project Mew, and I think that's what we're gonna be seeing in the future. Not only did they do this, but also introduced our Project Mew characters in a well enough fashion. I'm excited to see all of them in the future. This episode did a lot more question making than anything else, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. It did a really good job hyping me up for the next episodes of Project Mew. I hope y'all are getting ready for more too. And that's gonna be it for this video. If you have any extra thoughts or I didn't talk about something that you want to know, let me know in the comment section and I'll get back to it as soon as I can. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Have a nice day, guys. Peace out.